we will discuss about the various types of debentures. This presentation provides an overview of the different types of debentures as follows. First of all, it is the convertible debentures. So basically, the convertible debentures is a type of the debenture that offers the potential for capital appreciation if the value of the company's shares increases. A convertible debenture are a type of the debt instruments that can be converted into the equity shares of the issuing company. Also, the holders of the convertible debentures have the option to convert them into the shares at a predetermined conversion price. So, if the crux we talk about the convertible debentures, then these are the debentures which can be easily converted into the equity shares by the issuing company. Next up is the non-convertible debentures. So a non-convertible debenture are the traditional debt instruments that cannot be converted into any equity share. These debentures offer a fixed interest rate and have a predetermined maturity date. The investors receive the regular interest payments and the principal amount is repaid at the end of the maturity period. Next up comes the secured debentures. This type of debentures offers the lower risks as compared to the unsecured debentures. Secured debentures are backed by the assets or the properties of the issuing company. In the event of the default by the company, secured debentures holders have the right to claim the specified assets. Next up are the unsecured debentures. Unsecured debentures are not backed up by any specific asset or properties. In case of default by the company, an unsecured debenture holders are treated as the general creditors. This type of debentures carries a higher risk as compared to the secured debentures. So basically, unsecured debentures have the higher risk because in the case of the secured debentures, they can ask for the specified assets because they are backed up by the assets or the properties of the issuing company. But in the case of the unsecured debentures, that is not such the case, and that is why they carry a higher risk as compared to secured debentures. Next up are the subordinated debentures. Investors in the subordinated debentures generally receives a higher interest rate to compensate for the higher risk. So basically, these are the debentures which are at higher risk, and that is why the holders of the subordinated debentures also get the higher rate of interest. Subordinated debentures have the lower priority of claim compared to the other debt holders in the case of liquidation or bankruptcy. These debentures are subordinated to another debt obligations of the issuing company. Next up are the registered debentures. The registered debentures are issued in the name of the bondholders and their ownership is recorded in a register. The bondholder receives the interest payments directly from the issuing company. This type of the debenture provides the greater security and transparency for the bondholders. Next is the bearer debentures. The bearer debentures offer a greater privacy and anonymity but carry a higher risk of the loss or theft. A bearer debenture do not have the names of the bondholders recorded in the register. The ownership of the bearer debentures can be transferred by the physical delivery. So basically, it is just a piece of the paper on which it is mentioned that it is a debenture. Whosoever owns it is not written, and that is why it is named as bearer because it is only be at the ownership of the person who is holding it. Next up is the redeemable debentures. The redeemable debentures have a fixed maturity date at which the issuing company will repay the principal amount to the debenture holders. These debentures provide certainty of the cash flows and repayment of the capital to the investors. A redeemable debenture can either be convertible or non-convertible. So redeemable debentures can either be converted into equity shares or cannot be converted into equity shares. Then comes the irredeemable debentures. And irredeemable debentures provide a fixed stream of interest payments to the investors indefinitely. That means there is no time foundation in the case of irredeemable debenture. Irredeemable debentures, also known as the perpetual debentures, do not have a fixed maturity date. Since they do not bounded by time, that is why they also do not have a fixed maturity date. The issuing company is not obligated to repay the principal amount to the debenture holders. Issuing company के पास कोई भी obligation नहीं होता है in order to pay the principal amount to pay the debenture holders. Then comes the convertible redeemable debentures. The convertible redeemable debentures combine the features of both the convertible and the redeemable debentures. These debentures can be converted into equity shares of the issuing company and also have fixed maturity date. Investors have the option to convert the debentures into the shares or receive the repayment of the payment amount at the maturity. Thank you for your time. I hope you have understood what are the different type of the debentures that are in the corporate accounting. Let's have a quick revision. So first of all, it is the convertible debentures, which can be easily converted into equity shares. Then comes the non-convertible debentures, which cannot be converted into equity shares. Then comes the secured debentures, which are secured by some asset of the issuing company. Then comes the unsecured debentures, which are not backed up by any asset of the company. Then are the subordinated. They have the higher risk, so that is why they get the higher interest. Registered, which are registered under the name of the owner. Bearer, which are not registered under the name of the owner. Then comes the redeemable, which can be redeemed by the company over a period of time. Then comes the irredeemable, which cannot be redeemed by the company at any specified period of time and they do not have a fixed maturity date. And also comes the convertible redeemable, which is the best of the both worlds, that is the convertible debenture and the redeemable debenture. Thank you so much.